Hey everyone, welcome to Infinite Realms. Today, well, might be a little different. Today I'm going to review Age of Apocalypse Wave Shadowcat. Now, whole lot going on here. You know, let's talk a little bit about Age of Apocalypse. Specifically centered around Shadowcat. I'm just going to say up front, I think Shadowcat has the dumbest death of any character that died in that storyline. I really do. I just feel Colossus is charging. She steps in front, doesn't phase, he kills her. I just thought that was so dumb. Just, uh, yeah, that was a terrible, terrible moment in the comics. And it was almost laughable. I mean, it really was. It was almost laughable. So, yeah, now Age of Apocalypse is a storyline a lot of people really love. And I'm not trying to knock people's loves, but I really liked it at first. And then I started thinking about it, and it really did not stick with me the way other stories have. I started, the major thing was so Professor X dies, and Apocalypse says, okay, I'm up in my timetable. Really, that's all that was standing in your way was Professor X. And I realized people are going to say, oh, well, it wasn't Professor X, it was the school he built up, da 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 da. And I don't know. I'm always been a little. I've always been a little bit weirded out by that one because it was like, that's all it took? Really? I mean, and I do make the joke from time to time that, Apocalypse is not the X-Men's greatest villain because he never really did anything, and the only thing he really did, they made an alternate reality, and he still tore him in half. That's my joke. But I also, at the same time, there were some things I liked. So I knew I had some parts from the Age of Apocalypse Colossus, and I knew I was going to need the body. And so, just one day, I'm looking through online, see Shadowcat, and I just go, I need the body for Colossus. And again, Shadowcat was always one. I don't know. I had some issues with this design because it was like, for one thing, Wolverine had lost his hand, so what? Does Shadowcat gain the claws? It's just kind of odd to me. It was, weird design choice in my mind. Uh, so he did have some slight issue with the design. And, I'm going to be very blunt. I never thought this looked like Shadowcat. The first time I saw the picture of her, I thought it was Dazzler. So if that tells you anything. Yeah, I was like, oh, Dazzler's back. Wait, what? That's not Dazzler. What the hell? you know. So, yeah, that kind of didn't help either. So, now speaking on the figure itself, I mean, I'm going to be upfront. I do have a little issue with the design, but I will say the execution of the figure looks pretty decent. It's decent. you know, there's some, obvious parts that are, there a little bit of reuse going on here, but not a whole lot. And which I'm fine with to a certain extent. And this is a place I can deal with it. So there is that. Her hands come off, and you can swap out her gauntlets for the claws. So that's kind of nifty. I mean, at least she has a few more accessories than most women have. So I give her that one. But still, I always kind of went, what's up with the claws? I don't get it. Now she's a cat. I mean, what's going on here? Okay, so again, this is all my issues with Age of Apocalypse. Nothing to do with Shadowcat herself. Although she's a drastically changed character, and I don't know how I felt about her. It's just always, I mean, her hair turned blonde, for one thing. I mean, it's like, wait, Kitty's hair is brown, really dark brown. So, yeah, there's that shit. The figure poses fairly well, though. I mean, it does pose well. You can get her into a lot of poses, etc., etc. So there's that. And, again, single joint articulation in the elbows. We all know that about female characters. Yawn burgers. Yawn burgers. Okay. So, for some comparison, here she is with regular Rogue and Firestar. Armored Spider-Man and Armored Daredevil. Age of Apocalypse Rogue, along with the Excalibur Pack's Kitty Pryde, because I just wanted to show, I mean, right there shows you how different she looks from the normal 616 version. And, again, those claws, I was just like, really? Is that the way you want to go with it? But I guess apparently people did. And they did. And it is what it is. I mean, I don't hate the figure, though. I mean, I have a few issues with the design. But the figure itself is coming off of that design, so I have to kind of look at it that way. As such, I'm going to say 3.5 stars. She's not the best, she's not the worst. So, there's that. Okay, so there we are. That's what I think about Shadowcat. Don't forget to like and subscribe.